What's up, everyone? This is Coach Amir from SevenFigureBody.com. I've been a professional fitness coach for the last 16 years, and in that time, I've helped transform over 1,200 successful entrepreneurs. And in today's video, we're going to talk about increases of testosterone and growth hormone, which are the two growing agents. They grow every tissue and muscle included in our body. Which of these is important? Which of these is not important for building more muscle and getting in top shape? So guys, you've probably heard that increasing testosterone is a good thing as a man. Increasing growth hormone is also a good thing. This is generally true. However, the biggest, most important thing that I want you to take away from this video and remember forever is that temporary increases in all of these hormones, going up for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 2 hours, and then coming down, are absolutely useless. They don't do anything. On the other hand, chronic, or what's known as, basically permanent, long-term increases in testosterone and growth hormone and other growth agents like IGF-1 are very effective, very important, and very healthy for you, especially when done naturally. Meaning, the reason I say that is because there's TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Every idiot today is roided out of their mind, both with TRT, and yes, if somebody's on TRT, they are roided out because testosterone is not only a steroid, it's the original steroid. So just because the doctor prescribed it or you're taking it illegally or whatever, doesn't mean you're not on steroids. You are. And I've actually done a whole video on TRT and why or why not, as an entrepreneur, you should be on TRT or shouldn't be on it. You can click here to check out that video on TRT. But also there's a bunch of other steroids, and as you guys probably know, 99.999% of the fitness people on Instagram, YouTube, and everywhere else are roided out of their mind. They're not just taking TRT or testosterone, they're taking a bunch of other stuff, growth hormone, trenbolone, clenbuterol, God knows what else they're mixing and taking, Liver King, taking $10,000 a month worth of growth hormone, etc. Like, this is just the norm in the industry, unfortunately. Roided out morons are more the default than an exception, unfortunately. So guys, please remember, temporary increases in testosterone and growth hormone that you get from training, for example. You've probably heard, go to the gym, lift weights, your testosterone goes up, yay, it builds more muscle. True, it does go up, but it absolutely does not build more muscle. This is completely useless. It doesn't do anything for you if all of these or any of the ways that you use to increase your testosterone or growth hormone are temporary. They go up and then come down. Doesn't do anything. So you've probably heard, maybe you have heard it before, maybe not, but when you fast, so fasting increases growth hormone. And then fasting zealots, of course, because they have no brain cells, they're like, oh, or they don't know anything about this. They're like, fasting increases growth hormone. Yeah, it's going to build more muscle. It's like, okay, starving yourself builds more muscle. No, it actually doesn't. There's no study ever in history that showed that fasting builds more muscle compared to no fasting. There's a ton of studies that show that it builds less muscle than not fasting. And there are certainly some studies that show that you build the same amount of muscle fasting and not fasting, provided that you eat the same amount of protein and train the same. Yeah, because timing of your protein and overall food is really not that important. We know it. But some studies did show less muscle, etc. Why would starving yourself and starving your muscle building more muscle? It lead to building more muscle. Absolutely makes no sense, and it never happens. So why does the body increase growth hormone when you're fasting? There's no food. Your brain thinks, okay, if there's no food, maybe I'm going to starve, maybe I am starving, so let me produce more, give him a little bit more energy so he can actually go and find food. This is just evolutionary way of responding to a situation in which there's no food, which your body, when you're, let's say, fasting for 16, 20 hours or a day or two or whatever, your brain is like, I don't know if this is permanent. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just going to not eat until I die. The brain doesn't know that, okay? So that's why or where the growth hormone increase comes from. However, this absolutely does nothing because it's temporary. It goes up and down. And there's a bunch of studies that show that this is going to do exactly nothing for building muscle. People like Andrew Huberman still don't know this because, he's a neuro, scientist. He doesn't know anything about this. That's why he's absolutely amazed by growth hormone increases from training, growth hormone increases from, sauna or whatever other bullshit, not to mention all the steroids, that, on TRT and all the bullshit that he's taken and selling. And of course, this is just an ignorant person, unfortunately, an ignorant person who has an audience. So they're now spewing bullshit to all of them and they have no clue. So there you go. Welcome to the fitness industry, right? People have no clue about what they're talking about. They have authority in something, therefore they're all of a sudden authority in everything, right? And Huberman is the king of spewing nonsense with confidence about things he knows nothing about, which is anything, training, nutrition, no clue about it. It's simply not his area. That's okay. Just don't preach to people about something you don't know. Neither here nor there. The only thing that does matter is increasing your testosterone, for example, if we talk about testosterone, increasing that permanently, long term. Because guys, here's a funny example that I always give, and it really lands this point home. Studies have shown that if a man finds himself in a proximity, physical proximity of a woman or a person that he finds attractive, his testosterone goes up by 40%. So if you're a male and you like women, okay, and you find yourself in a proximity of a hot woman that you find physically attractive, your testosterone will go up by 40%. Does that build more muscle? No, because it's very temporary. It goes up, the woman leaves, you're like, okay, she left, comes down. Same exact thing with all of these things that arouse men, such as fighting. If you watch a UFC fight, the testosterone goes up because the aggression goes up. So, by the way, I've said it here first. Here's Huberman protocol for building more muscle. Find hot women, put them around you while you're watching UFC fights. Your testosterone goes up, builds more muscle. Yay! Except it doesn't, of course, but he doesn't know that. Anyways, guys, any other thing that you ever hear that raises testosterone or growth hormone, including lifting weights, training in any way, being in proximity of hot women, anything that increases your aggression, all of these things do increase your testosterone and or growth hormone. It goes up, but it comes down really quickly and it doesn't matter at all. Of course, another example where you've heard of a hormone going up and then coming down and people making a big fuss about it when it's completely irrelevant is insulin. You've probably heard you eat carbs, insulin goes up, oh terrible, you get fat. Except for you eat carbs, insulin goes up and then it comes down. So it doesn't matter, you burn fat just fine. And this is why obese people on a high carb diet lose the exact same amount of weight as obese people on a low carb diet, as long as they're all in the same deficit. They lose the exact same amount of weight. So if you put an obese person in a deficit and give them a higher percentage of carbs and lower fat, they lose the exact same amount of weight as they do on same calories but higher fat and lower carb. Why? Because calories are king and deficit, the size of that deficit determines how much weight they lose, regardless of whether you eat carbs, fats, doesn't matter. Insulin, no insulin, it doesn't matter. Insulin just goes up, comes down. Nothing changes, okay? So guys, please remember, the takeaway from this video, anything that increases any of the hormones temporarily, so it goes up and down, doesn't do anything. Especially when it comes to building muscle, raising your testosterone to a higher level and keeping it there by getting lean, improving your diet, improving your sleep, and fixing your mineral vitamin deficiencies. That will help it. I have a video specifically talking about how to increase your testosterone naturally without any steroids, without any bullshit supplements, none of that. You can click the link here somewhere for that video if you want to watch that as well. And guys, if you are a successful entrepreneur and you want to get in top shape without starvation, without stupid fads, without taking steroids, and without cutting out carbs, then click the link below this video. There is a to Z video of how I've helped transform over 1,200 clients so far. And if that makes sense, book a call to chat with me or somebody on my team. And if everything makes sense, you can join our program. It's called Guaranteed Ripped for a reason. And a few months from now, you'll be in best shape you've ever been, guaranteed. Thank you guys for watching this video. See you next time.